Now, if you remember, when Rebecca was brought to Isaac, he took her into his mother's tent, just like the woman in Song of Solomon did with Solomon, right? She wanted to take Solomon to her mother's house of her that conceived her, right? And tried to conceive with him, right? Now, when you conceive, you become a doorway between the physical world and the spiritual world, and your child is proof of your marriage, right? Why do you think Mary Bell would deny the possibility that Patrick could even be mine unless she knows that's what marriage really is, right? Of course, she's peed if I got her pregnant somehow while on birth control pills, right? Which is what it looks like, actually, right? Something went wrong with the birth control pills. It don't matter what went wrong, but 2 weeks later, she finds out when she has the child, right? He wasn't conceived in December because of his birth weight. But guess when? 8 months prior. If you're 4 pounds 9 ounces at 5.5 to 6 months, you're gonna be larger than the angels, baby. Right? If you know what I mean. Plus, she's Filipino. For the first 6 weeks, all children, even if they're conceived by an angel from heaven, right, are a certain weight at a certain point in their development, right? The sperm of the angel, when they become human, before the flood, right, is what, again, can impregnate a woman. Unless you're talking about scientific experiments by aliens, but there again, I don't know either, right? But then the alien has to introduce the hermaphrodite gene, right? The gene's in the gene pool, fool, right? When the gene's in the gene pool, something introduced a third sex into the gene pool, right? There's only 2 ways you can do that, right? Either you make someone a hermaphrodite and they have sex with the male and female Adam, right? You understand? Right. And get them both pregnant and pregnant by Adam, right? Could also create Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon, right? Human-looking creatures and dumb-looking, kind of rough-looking creatures, if you will. Mm-hmm. You would even create hybrids, right? Half angel, half human, right? And some would look like Neanderthal or Cro-Magnon, right? And yet they could also mate with each other at a certain point too, right? So that's where the Neanderthal went. He bred into, again, Cro-Magnon, because we have Neanderthal genes too, right? Don't you get it? And for the hermaphrodite gene to be in the gene pool, sex with the hermaphrodite has to happen, right? No other way. And that's what you can't grasp. That's what Satan has tricked you into believing, that there's only 2 genders. Yes. And he knows who's brainwashing you. That's God. Jesus knows you're being brainwashed by Satan, and they can't even tell you the truth, right? You're so blocked by Satan, I can't tell you the truth because you're hearing in your own head what you were programmed to hear, right? By those programming you growing up, there were only 2 genders, right? They tried to do the same with me, but I found out about it through the Gnostic Gospels and read the shit, right? And I know exactly what they're saying. If you don't read it, you're not going to understand it either, and that's fine for you, right? Like I said, right? And you're treating me like I'm a bad guy when you're the bad guy, thinking I'm a bad guy, but no proof I'm a bad guy, right? I can't do nothing about you accusing me of having a 4-year-old stepdaughter. I did. See, the reason I have to keep talking about it is I really married a woman who had a child before I met her, and I can't do nothing about that. I didn't see it as an issue, right? right? I know that happens because I was a stepchild myself to my stepdad, right? And I know that happens because sometimes couples don't work out, right? That's all that is, right? Sal, who got her pregnant, right, before I met her, is again who she saw first, not me or even my ex-wife, except at her mother's home when she got her. And then she had to drive all the way back to Virginia in less than 24 hours, right? And that's almost a 19-hour drive, right? So she would have to leave early Sunday to even get back to Virginia at a decent hour to go to sleep herself and be at work by Monday or whatever she had to do. Maybe she had 2 weeks off, but again, the first week was spent with me sleeping on the couch. Right? That's why I remember that it was more than one time. But if her daughter woke me up or not, that would be a brief encounter, and I might not even remember it because of the timeline, right? But you're acting like something happened, and I'm thinking, well, you can know your video recording it, right? But you can't, right? That's entrapment too, right? Do you understand the concept of someone sleeping on the couch? They're not trying to mess with their daughter or the mother, right? They're trying to avoid anything weird happening, right? And unless, like I told you, the girl's having problems waking up the mother or something and won't help peeing or something, right? There ain't no other reason she would have to wake me up herself as a child, right? Do you understand what I mean, right? And if she does, or if Daphne's trying to set me up with her daughter, I don't remember it in the first place, so she's exposing herself. If she keeps acting like something happened and I don't remember it, right? But I do remember sleeping on the couch, right? That's the problem. I slept on the couch for at least 5 to 8 days, right? Including the weekend, maybe, right? Now, if she don't remember all the details herself, she's telling on herself what she remembers more than me, right? That's the problem, too. Because she's the only one who can remember if she came in there, right? And I had to wake her up to let her know she came in there or not, right? See, I might not remember all those details, right? Even though she might remember, right? It don't mean I remember, and you can't harass me and say something happened. And I just say, well, I don't remember if that happened, but if it did, I know what I would do would be this, or this, right? Not that. Not actually molest her. And it depends on your point of view, right? And if there's a real videotape or not. To me, that's made up, too, right? Because my ex-wife would have to be setting me and the daughter up, and she would be the bait, right? And that would piss the daughter off, not the mother, right? She can also justify it to herself, right? But not me, right? I did not expect her or my stepdaughter to wake me up, either one, right? When I went to sleep on the couch the 4th night, right? Now or the 5th night, right? Because Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are 4 nights, and Thursday will be the 5th night. And Sunday she got back, so that's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, right? And I will meet the daughter Thursday, and Friday would be the 6th day that Daphne got back, but I didn't meet her till Thursday, and I was around her no more than the weekend, right? Before I moved back to base, right? This is logical. What you're saying is totally illogical, and you can't prove it, not even Thomas Barbie, right? He wasn't there either. Even if Daphne hired him for some strange reason or got involved with him for some strange reason, she's supposed to be in Arkansas, and last time I heard of Amanda, she was in Houston, Texas or something. I don't know. See, I don't keep tabs on ex-wives or even ex-girlfriends, though I tell you the story of what happened honestly. Now, anyone can get confused if you're writing someone, and they're acting confused about it themselves, and you don't know why they quit writing you. So you just start sending them Bible studies or something, right? You don't know what to do. If you're both religious. She said she was Pentecostal. Right. But we also both heard of the prodigal son or daughter. Right. You do know that applies to females as well, like the woman in the sin who, again, owed 500 pence and, Simeon only owed 50. I know. Yet she repented herself, right? Of her own sins. You can repent of your sins, Sushi. Now, I'm not saying you can't, but you can't block me out and say I can't either, right? We can all make mistakes, right? But attitude, right, is I don't even remember it, so I'm having to make it up. And when I start making it up, it's just going to sound logical to you, but it's not, right? Exactly. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. And, I watch things on TV like wrestling or stuff like that, and I like to see the women more than the men, of course, right? But it became something we all grew up on, right? Also, I don't know, cartoons, also, right? So I learned to do voices, idiot. But if you're talking to an idiot and they won't listen, you're not talking for them. You're trying to reach someone with a brain who will listen to you. Whether they're out there or not, whether they're paying attention or not. Like I told you about Saturday Night Live, they're doing Saturday Night Live stuff. They ain't worried about Shane, right? They already got everything in motion that they need to do for the next seasons. Probably beyond, right? But one of the things they do is like I do is they can watch a movie or even do parodies like I do, right? And again, that's part of comedy too, right? But then I'm one person competing with a whole comedy troupe, right? And that's one of the one who does comedy. And I'm not saying I'm winning or losing either, right? I'm just saying I can do some of the things Fallon can do, or right? Except Fallon never did Journey, and I could do Journey and Fallon can't, right? Maybe for legal reasons, I don't know. But I can't, right? Lying beside you, here in the dark, feeling your heartbeat with mine. And that's how he sounds on the radio, right? Or the album, right? And see, if I'm doing it under educational purposes, I can use it for fair use as long as I tell you it's Steve Perry from Journey I'm teaching you to impersonate, right? And that makes it legal fair use. It's as simple as that. FBI or CIA or anybody involved with this craziness, right? And it is crazy, right? You can't legally stop someone from teaching how to sing a song, even on the radio, because it's legally possible to teach copyrighted materials, not just music stuff, right? Because in choir, you're taught how to sing any song, right? That has notes in it, right? So that's why I'm teaching you how to match the notes you hear on the radio, right? Which turns it from copyright infringement into copyright fair use, right? And what's the difference? I don't need your permission to use it as fair use if it's for educational purposes, right? I mean, I'm not just talking about your little song, right? Either. I'm doing a whole lesson on the Bible, on life, on things I know, on things you know, and why we could say in September. Right. September is the month we all know about. I know. Right. Now let's read chapter 4 of the Song of Solomon. Right. They were going to start with the Jewish Publication Society, right? Bible. Now they're all a little different because why? Again, copyright infringement, right? Again, right? The words could mean something slightly different too, right? I know. Or you don't want to deal with it. You are fair, my darling, right? Maybe, right? You are fair, your eyes are like doves. Behind your veil, your hair is like a flock of goats. Well, why do they compare to a flock of goats? Are goats hairy too? Yeah. A flock of them, right? They're very hairy if there's a flock of goats, right? Streaming down Mount Gilead, right? Your teeth are like flocks of ewes, which are female sheep, right? Climbing up from the washing pool, right? All of them bear twins, right? Meaning your teeth are 2, 4, and then your canines, and then your molars, right? Which are also 3 to 4, right? Depending on how many canine molars you have too, right? So we have what's called canine, and then incisors, and then molars to eat our food with, right? That's going into biology. Two. And not one loses her young, right? Meaning there's no gap, right? I know. Your lips are like crimson thread, right? Crimson thread. Maybe she had our equivalent of lipstick. Your brows, and that's your top eyeline, right? Over your, on your forehead, right? Behind your veil, gleam like a pomegranate split open, right? Your neck is like the Tower of David, built to hold weapons. And your brain is your weapon, right? Hung with 1,000 shields. All the quivers of warriors, right? Your breasts are like 2 fawns. Okay, those are young deer, right? Twins of a gazelle, right? The gazelle is, again, what a cheetah or a lion in the Sahara chases down to eat, right? Sometimes, right? Browsing among the lilies. Again, she's the lily of the valley. Not him, her. So if you call Jesus the lily of the valley, you're calling him a daughter and not a son, and he's both anyway, so that's okay, right? If you're male and female, you're also son and daughter. You're also mother and father, right? That's why the Gnostics did not fear to call God mother, father, right? The light shines in the darkness as if the light is given birth to within the darkness. The morning light, right, is also called the womb of the morning, right? The light shining within the darkness with comprehension of itself is the mind of the universe, which we all have in us, right? And we have to use it positively or negatively to help our fellow man, or we're going to mess it up again, right? And if we keep messing it up, we probably keep messing it up the same way. If we get it right, even, we get it right the same way. Right. Question is, when are we going to get it fully right? Right. Right. When the day blows gently and the shadows flee, I will betake me to the Mount of Myrrh, to the hills of frankincense. Now, this again is what they brought Jesus, myrrh and frankincense. You wonder why? The Song of Solomon that they never read to you talks about these two particular spices that in, right? Or particular fragrances, right? But I didn't know it either because I never was taught from the Song of Solomon at all. Not in Sunday school class, not in adult class, not once did one pastor ever go over the Song of Solomon with me to teach me what it really says. I wonder why now. Very sexual. It's kind of erotic, ain't it? Right? Kissing her on the mouth ain't cause she's your wife, right? Yet, that could even be premarital too. Kissing on the mouth, right? Or is she a concubine? We don't know. What she is, but she knows Solomon is married to 300 other women, right? You understand that too. How does Solomon get 1,000 women, which means 1,000 men don't have a life, right? As well. If you take 1,000 women, right, you're taking 1,000 men's wife, right? You understand what you're doing there, right? You're unequally yoked together. See, if someone goes gay, right, and they're male, the female has to go gay too, right? It's automatic, right? The male does not find the female desirable, right? Only males, right? Same with the female who finds the female desirable. The reasons he does that is we think we can choose this particular lifestyle, and some people have learned to choose it over the millennia, right? Since we so-called fail, right? And that's what we've been doing off and on. Some of us went gay, right? Some of us stayed straight, right? Some of us went bi. Some of us were in orgies even, right? Some of us married one person, right? That's why there's diversity in relationships, right? Even on Judge Mathis today, like I told you, 2 women got pregnant by one man who they were not legally married to but had an affair with, but they all knew about it, but then they got bitchy when he bought him a stuff up damn necklace or something. Like, okay. I understand he's got to take care of the baby. Or babies, right? That's another thing. You can't abandon your children if you have them, men, right? Or women, but you have the options of even abortion. Today, they didn't have that back then, right? It wasn't a medical procedure they could do safely where the mother and child were either safely aborted or vice versa, right? Had the baby, which is her choice. That's what the people who abort the baby are saying. Should we have this child? There's something wrong. I can't take care of it properly. It might turn out worse for the child. And some people, Jesus said himself, it would be better if they were never born. Right? What does that mean? And with Jezebel, he talks about, again, right, killing her children with death anyway. Aren't we all dying of natural causes even? Right. That's the whole point, right? Right. I will betake me to the Mount of Myrrh, to the hill of frankincense. Every part of you is fair, my darling. There is no blemish in you. From Lebanon come with me. From Lebanon, my bride, with me. All right. Trip down from Amana's peak. from the peak of Senir in Hermon, from the dens of lions, from the hills of leopards, which are also black leopards or panthers as well. Mm-hmm. Well, that is a different name to call a spotted leopard or a black leopard. One's in the jungle, by the way, and one's in the open plain. Right? That's why one has yellow fur and black spots. Right? But Jeremiah asked, can a leopard change its spots? Well, if it's in the jungle, it's in a black leopard. If it's in the snow, it becomes a white and black leopard with white fur. Huh. And we've heard of the myth of the white gorilla too, right? Like I said, I've heard of it too, right? Right. Mm-hmm. But I'm not trying to step on your movie. I'm trying to help you promote it, I guess, from Georgia. Because wherever you came up with the idea, I'm not around you. But I had a similar idea. But you came up with Rampage, right? And through technology made the gorilla bigger, right? Though it started out as a regular gorilla, right? Right. Well, that's what I was talking about too, coincidentally, right? So, I've heard of that too, right? Right. That's what it means, right? You have captured my heart, my own, my bride. You have captured my heart with one glance of your eyes. With your coal of your necklace, how sweet is your love, my own, my bride. How much more delightful your love than wine. Your ointments more fragrant than any spice. Right? Now, a woman also has oil for the male to have intercourse with her, or coitus, as Sheldon would say. Right? Let's go into the scientific terms a little bit too, right? Okay. See, she also has a response to the male, as the male does by getting erect with the female. Mm-hmm. Right, right. Now, this you learn as early as the 7th grade in public schools. Right? Now, the problem is the Christians are so confused about it. They think we don't marry or give women in marriage after the resurrection, and Jesus never said that either. Now, while you're being resurrected, why can't you have sex? You're dead until you're resurrected. And when you're resurrected, is that about sex or God reforming your body, right? And you being born again, right? Or brought back to life, right? Technically, yeah. And see, there's several ways God could do that. Mm-hmm. One's called a time loop, right? That's why you keep making Adam and Eve, and they keep sinning with Satan, right? And we all go through the same experiences over and over and over and over and over again, and never get it right, but we're not expected to do by God either, right? Damn. He knows we're going to get it wrong. But that's what grace is too, right? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We're all born again, right? We just don't remember the first time because it might have been 20,000 or something like that years ago, right? Well, again, that's a long time to be asleep and then re-awake. Be asleep and re-awake to the same concept of this planet everyone around you has, even if it's different than your own, right? That's kind of the point too there, right? Okay, let's continue. Now, when you don't read something to me, but you like these other scriptures, that's called favoritism in your line, right? All right, sweetness drops from your lips, O bride. Honey and milk are under your tongue, and the scent of your robes is like the scent of Lebanon, right? A garden lot is my own, my bride. A fountain lot, a sealed up spring, right? This is talking about perhaps her virginity as well. Your limbs are an orchard of pomegranates and all luscious fruits of henna and of nard and saffron, fragrant reed and cinnamon, right? With all aromatic woods, right? Now, you've heard of people using even smell, right? To get romantic, right? Or to lighten the mood, or to get you meditated, right? That's why too, right? Yeah. Exactly. All right. Myrrh and aloes, right? Again, right? All the choice perfumes, right? You are a garden spring, a well of fresh water, a rill of Lebanon. Wait a minute, this is just like poetry. We are taught about the romantic poets of the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries, right? But no one showed me this book, right? Guess how I learned about it? Reading it on your own, reading on my own. No one the whole time ever taught me one real scripture, except maybe he's the lily of the valley. And that applies to the wife, not the husband. They're so ignorant of the Song of Solomon, they apply the female to the male without acknowledging Jesus as both, right? They still say he's a man, right? He's not a man, right? I didn't read that until I read the whole Bible as well, right? I didn't know what it meant, right? But now I have an idea, right? Awake, O north wind. Come, O south wind. Blow upon my garden, right? That its perfume may spread, right? Let my beloved come to his garden and enjoy its luscious fruits. The word fruits is used again, right? Though it don't just mean the fruits. But her body also produces the egg, like again with the chicken and the egg, right? You ask which came first. Well, a progenitor is an adult chicken that's both male and female. Then you take that part of the chicken that's female and separate it from the male part to make the male fully male, and then the chicken is made fully female. And then you have a rooster and a hen, right? Now the first creature is both, right? Half rooster, half hen, right? In its design, right? By a designer you can't see, right? Simply put, the body of the chicken is formed first, right? With the ability to make the egg with inside it, right? Then after it's made two, right, male and female, the rooster both tries to mate with the female chicken before the egg hardens. But also, the egg itself could become a food source, right? And that's the whole point, because no one showed it to me, right? Or you're lying out your butt. I was raised in the same church system in Georgia you were raised in, right? No one showed this to me. No one showed me how romantic the Bible was. I had to read it on my own. Right. And no wonder your Christians are dealing with homosexuality. Right. You're not showing them love between a man and a woman in the first place in the Song of Solomon as it's described. Right. They don't even know God talked about sex that openly. You make it seem evil to have sex, or even marry, or premarital sex as well. When the Bible never said that as well. Never said you couldn't have premarital sex. It just said if you did, try to marry the female, the female can break out the relationship at any time and leave your ass. I learned that the hard way too, but I learned it. I learned my lessons well. I say you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. I don't know who sung this song, but I heard it on the radio. Kind of forgot some of the words, but it sounds real low. I don't know. Okay. Then I made up something at the end, right? Now, educational means that song popped into my head, right? But I don't remember the title or the artist or who sung it. But I know it was sung on the radio. So I know Irene and Cara sung on the radio. Whoa, on the radio. Right. Well, that's where you hear your songs, on the radio. But if you're in New York or you're in Los Angeles, and I'm in Georgia, Savannah, what chances do I really have of going anywhere? None. I'm stuck in Fort Wentworth, Georgia. Sitting here talking to you on a camera on my iPhone or Samsung phone. Right? Trying to communicate to you. You got the wrong idea about me. I never touched my stepdaughter. Though I have a stepdaughter, please quit talking about her. Or if you understand what I'm saying, it don't matter if I talk about her. Nothing happened. Right. Mental illness does not always equal child molestation. I know. Plus, it was a different type of mental illness. I was paranoid. People were out to get me. So if I wake up with my stepdaughter and it gets too weird, I'll tell her mom. What you think I'm saying? I would do that, right? And wake her up if the daughter woke me up in the middle of the night, because I know she's not supposed to do that normally, right? And if she did, I know to bring her back to her mom within a few seconds of her waking me up in the first place, right? So there are normal things you make sure, right, you don't need to do, right? Like pee or bathe, but that's about it, right? All I can think of. How about you, Brett? What do you think you should do with a 12 or a child who wakes you up in the middle of the night? Try to talk to her and be rational and compassionate and tell her why it's wrong, but right, not try to do nothing with her to upset her, right? Or her mother who's there with you, right? And you just try to talk to her about it and see if she'll listen, right? Now, can the 12-year-old put me in a difficult position? Yeah, but not a 4-year-old. Come on, right? Plus, I know a 4-year-old should be a what, virgin? Right? I don't know about a 12-year-old and why she would even wake me up, right? If I'm on the couch and her mom and her are in the bedroom, right? But if I done been with the mom, I done been with the mom too, right? I ain't trying to get with the daughter. I'm going to stay on the couch, right? Unless I need to pee, then I'm going to go to the bathroom and go back to the couch, right? Like I told you myself, right? This is rational stuff, but you're acting like because I'm mentally ill, I'm irrational. No. You are more irrational. Only I'm using you to promote my channel because I have no other means. I'll tell you so. And I'm trying to tell you the truth no man wants to admit to. They're all sealing it, right? I know what that means too in Revelations, right? There are 7 truths in the Bible you're hiding. That's what it means, right? Perry Stone, right? Any Christian today is hiding the 7 seals because you're not worthy of it, even though John tries to open the seals at the end of the book too, right? He tries to unseal the seals, but you still want to seal it, right? So that's the problem. If the church is sealing truths in the Bible, they're lying with Satan, right? Because God don't lie and repent, right? Man does, right? You don't even know it's not a man and what that means, very right? And then Satan is so brainwashed you into thinking he's a man, right? He's not a man, right? As well as a man. How could he be both or neither, right? Well, the female comes in too, play too, right? The male and female are one in someone's body. Both can be baptized into his body, right? By one Spirit, you're all baptized into the body of Christ, whether Jew or Gentile, bond or free, male or female, right? Now, did he say it in that passage? He could have. Who would take it out, Catholics? Men copying the Bible? Could leave that part out. And I know you did, if anyone did, right? Because then that would be 2 witnesses saying the male and female are one in Christ Jesus. Except this is saying you're both baptized into his body, right? If it says male and female there, the Gnostics were right and the Orthodox are wrong, and they're also sending you to hell. All the Orthodox are doing is sending you to hell faster, right? They're not helping God save you, right? And they're wrong. They're wrong. They're the ones in the heresy, though, not the Gnostics, right? See, when you call someone a heretic, it's because you're doing something heretical yourself, right? You're judging them as the heretics, but really it's you. Right. When you judge, you're judging not only them, but yourself, right? You can't do it without judging yourself, right? And if you condemn the Gnostics and you're the one lying, you're condemning by yourself, right? You understand? Right. What Jesus said, if you condemn, you're condemning yourself. If you bless or forgive, you're blessing and forgiving yourself, right? I forgive myself whether I did something with a child or not, but I know I wouldn't, right? So I'm telling you too, right? Get over it. Bye.